If the flood escapes this halo, it will of course consume all viable hosts in this galaxy. Why, naturally, the flood is simply too dangerous to release, and mass sterilization protocols may again need to be enacted. Of course, samples were kept here after the last catastrophic outbreak, for study. It seems that decision may have been an error. I would conjecture that the other species currently on the installation are responsible for releasing the flood. They seem most persistent in their attempts to access restricted areas. We must collect the index before we can activate the installation. We are near the index chamber. Follow me.
I like this little snowy pre-explanation area. That's pretty sick. Welcome to the library, the infamous Halo 1 level, boys. Here we are. Ooh. I am so... This is probably my most hyped level I've had, because I am just so excited to see what they do with it. I am just so excited to see what they do with it. So let's do it.
The index is naturally our first priority. We cannot activate the installation's failsafes without the index.
I'm really hoping they don't try to stay too true to the original on this. Because, God, the original was just not good, I'm gonna be honest. Open door. Okay. Don't get a shotgun early on, which is a little rough, but the AR should suffice for now. So let's see. Okay, so we're not going up. Ooh, wait a minute. We're going down? Ooh, I like that. That makes more sense. Going down, going deeper. Alright, cool. Let's do it. I hate having to melee those guys. It's just not as fun. I'll keep it a buck, but that's fine. Oh, what the? Bruh? Bruh. Not looking too good there, friendo. No skulls, no skulls. Alright. Topic for this video. I don't know. Do we want to just talk about Halo? Or is that too boring? I don't really think of too many topics. I got a couple, but I don't know how interesting they'd be, personally. Like, I just... If something interesting comes to mind, I'll pick the topic, but for now, I think we should really just kind of soak in the beauty of this level. Fuck off, man. Oh my god, it stays alive too.
You can see how the body has been
oh, it just...
Alright,
bro. What's over here? I'm checking every nook and cranny for skulls that is probably not needed, but... So far, the structure of the level is pretty cool. I do not mind it at all. Do not mind it at all. Oh, we got our first carrier form. Let's go, dude. Hey, buddy. Ew, God, you're ugly.
Just 10 rounds, but that's all we need. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna tell you guys straight up right now, this level is hard. Oh, I'm dead. Yep. How is that? What death is that in the whole entire place?
What an ugly lad. So right before this play session, they patched the game to reduce the AR rate of fire, I guess, or something like that. They did something to mess up the AR that I know a lot of people aren't really too happy with. Personally, I can't tell that much of a difference. It seems generally fine. interesting. They definitely switched up the environment enough that it's a lot more closed off, which I find interesting. I wonder if like it's gonna be this closed off the entire time, or if this is just this area and they're gonna open it up a little bit more later. Also, right now this is painfully easy. I will say that. It's almost like so far 343 Guilty Spark I didn't die or anything. This level so far the amount of flood is very low. So I'm kind of wondering if I'm on a lower difficulty than I should be, but I feel like if I was on normal or easy, I would have started with a shotgun. So I'm hoping that the update didn't reset my difficulty and it's still continuing with heroic, but... Oh, there's still some guys in there. Oh no, that's just the bug. Yeah, that's just the bug. Alright, we got another door, Mr. 343 Guilty Spark. Let's do it. I wonder if the doors are gonna lock like in the past, or if they're all gonna instantly open like that. Okay, let's go look again here. So that's where we started. Got 3 levels to go down, it looks like.
I must attend to it.
God damn it, dude. Okay, so I guess we are waiting at doors. That's fine. We'll wait at some doors.
My apologies.
Oh god. That did slightly give me a jump, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, maybe that could be a topic then, since we're in the horror section of the games. As far as, let me nade this so these guys don't revive too much. We've kind of been having a little bit of a renaissance. God damn it. God damn it. Oh, I did die. Okay, maybe it is heroic. Maybe I'm washed. Maybe I'm cooked. There's been a little bit of a renaissance in the horror genre recently, eh? Like, okay, also they're falling from this. That's so annoying. I need to prep for that this time. Like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Curry Barker. Is it Barker? Baker? I don't really know. I don't remember. Anyways, I'm sorry, Curry. Obsession, fucking humongous, elite level banger. I must say it. I must say it completely. I'm gonna say it straight up. The fuck was that, dude? That shit was gas. Definitely just one of the best movies in general that I've seen in a very long time. I've seen, you know, Obsession this year, I've seen Backrooms this year, I've seen The Odyssey this year. The Odyssey was fire. It was absolutely gas, man. Like, I saw it in 70mm film, true IMAX 70mm. It was fire. Like, I had a fantastic time with that movie, but I kind of was,
Apologies. We will need to reroute. Follow me.
Yeah, we're going that way. That's fine, dude. I was kind of joking after. I was like, Odyssey was amazing, but it's no Obsession, and that's just like, oh shit. Okay, don't do that next time. And I said that kind of as a joke, but also semi-seriously, where just how much I absolutely love that movie. I think it's one of the very few movies I've seen in a long time where I couldn't pick out a single thing I would change or a single thing I disliked about it. It was just through and through a masterpiece. And I don't really say that lightly. There's not a ton of movies that I would say just are through and through a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, and Obsession absolutely is one of those movies, without a doubt. So, like, just the quality of horror movies has been really good. I've been a huge fan of them recently. Yeah, chat, I agree. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me kill these guys, these revivers here. Nice. God, I'm such a fucking old man, dude. Nice. I like this. So in the original, there used to be like these little tunnels that would go under everything. Oh god. And now they are just cooler looking, you know? Definitely an improvement. I like the atmosphere is really cool here.
Oh, you did survive.
Hey, we get our little sentinel guys though. What up, sentinel guys? As a kid, I always loved having sentinels in this level. Like, in this level in 343 Guilty Spark, you don't have Cortana, which honestly, on some level, does get a little bit lonely. Not having Cortana in your ear, it definitely feels more isolating, and I think that's one of the great things they did with this game was making that explicit decision to not when you don't have Cortana with you when you find all this stuff, so you don't really know how things are going to shake out, and you don't have that comfort of an all-knowing AI directing you with what to do. Oh, this is like Halo 2 now. This is like the Halo 2 flood vibe setup, where they come out of these areas and then you have an elevator going down. Wasn't the biggest fan of this setup in Halo 2 either. Like, it's kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll keep it a buck with you. I always felt they could have made these areas... Oh, finally a fucking shotgun. I always felt that they could have made these areas, like, a little more interesting, to be honest with you. Just sitting on an elevator while a couple flood pop out every once in a while. Not my favorite thing ever. I think, especially for a new game, you could be more ambitious than that. I mean, it looks amazing. It really does, but... Are we already down? Oh my god, we're already at the bottom. That was so fast. Okay. I think the ambition could be bigger. That's the only thing, unfortunately. It so far has just been hallways. Oh, okay, we finally get some shotgun too. It has just been hallways upon hallways of kind of jack shit. Which, I mean, was what the library was. They made it a little less repetitive, but, I mean, this area like this is exactly what it used to be like. No questions. No difference at all. Which is a little unfortunate. But still definitely more variety so far, I'd say. But I was hoping for more so far. We'll see how the... Oh my god, there's even more. I was assuming there would be no guys down here, to be honest. Nice, more shotgun ammo, that's perfect. 17, nice. Or does both of these guys... Oh, they go to the same spot. Okay, cool, that's fine. But we'll see how it develops. We'll see how it goes. Another topic. I got one for next video. I want to save. I guess for the library. I don't know, man. I'll talk about League and my experience with withdrawing from League because that's been something that's happened at some point. So you know, might as well talk about it. I used to play League quite competitively. Is this gonna lock? It's definitely gonna lock, right? Yeah, alright, that's fair. Used to play League quite competitively, quite consistently. It was a huge part of my life for a long time, like, I'm not gonna lie. It's really how I filled... Nice. Achievement. It's really how I filled just, like, a ton of my competitive itch was... Not really playing solo queue, but playing as a team, you know, participating in a team, leading a team in some aspects, and competing in fives, you know, where we're all going towards, you know, that same goal. But I unfortunately had to give it up. If it wasn't for repetitive strain injury... Oh shit, am I gonna die? I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. I swear to god. Oh my god, I was too complacent. I was way too complacent there. You don't get a lot of cover in this, which sucks. Ended up having to stop playing due to repetitive strain injury, which was really annoying because, yeah, as I said, I would probably still be playing it today if it was not for repetitive strain injury. I would be grinding, I would be playing competitive still, I'd assume. League Classic has come out, which is pretty fun, but I haven't really been able to play that with too many friends. Also, these fuckers do not let you heal shields. That's why I died. I need to get some shield healing in. Okay, thank god I got some in. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, and I haven't been able to really find too many friends to play Classic with, and Classic isn't something I want to just start grinding. It's a worse game, I will say that. A lot of people say Classic is better than Modern. On some level, I can see where you're coming from, right? Like, I can see the perspective. Modern has gone way too far with certain things, but Classic just remains too snowbally, too primitive. There's a lot of really good changes they made for Modern specifically that are now gone completely in Classic, and that makes it really just not as fun as it should be. I think a good mix is kind of what they're looking for. It's kind of like MapleStory Classic coming out. It's not pure Classic like League Classic is. League Classic's a lot closer to pure Classic, I'd say. But they have a lot of quality of life changes in there that also improve a lot of different... Oh, I can open both. Which one should I go? Oh, well. We'll check out this one first, obviously. But they have a lot of quality of life improvements. And I think... Oh... Terminal? Terminal me? Easter egg me? Yes, terminal and an OS, dude. Let's go. Fuck yeah, dude.
The other reclaimer. Unfortunately, his combat skin proved even less suitable than yours.
The other reclaimer did not have the combat skills. Oh, so he brought this guy here first. That's kind of funny. That's a fun little spot. I like that. Okay, you can get out. That's good. But I haven't had the most amount of fun with Classic so far. The games are really snowbally. And I just felt like it was half-baked. It felt very half-baked. I think they should have spent another year on it, to be honest, to really, like, flesh it out a little more. It does seem thrown in there. And, like, everyone's doing the Classic things, and I appreciate that. But you do really have to do it with some level of quality. And personally, there's just some things with League Classic that I just, like, there's just... The character animations are literally blurry. Like, they're literally blurry. And you released it with literal blurry character animations to me. That's just crazy. See, meleeing these guys actually just prevents your shields from coming back, which is really annoying. But yeah, that unfortunately repetitive strain injury has taken that for me. There was a lot of times where I'm so much better now than I used to be, which is insane. Like, there were so many times where it was in just such a rough spot. I didn't even like, I was preparing to like stop working in my 30s and go on like fucking disability just because I'm like, I can't fucking use a computer, you know? Like, I was oh god, don't kill me. I was like practicing how to type and use a computer with just my voice, like not even anything else, just purely my voice. I learned an entire like alphabet for typing with my voice and all these other things. But luckily there's two factors that have come into play that have really changed that around. Like, 2 years ago, if I was playing this game right now, I would be in a lot of pain. And now, even now though, I'm still not the most comfortable, but I wouldn't say I'm like in pain in a way that's strictly getting worse with time. You know, there's been so much improvement, and I'm as far as like RSI goes, it's actually really hard to find stories like that online. Like, if you go to any RSI forums or subreddits, it's very doom and gloom, and part of it is the reason, like, once people kind of beat it or like find ways to live with it happily, they don't go back to those subreddits and start posting too much about it, you know? So it's really hard to find a positive environment for people with RSI and stuff like that. But luckily, in the last little bit, I have been able to... Oh, it's a big fuck. Bro, I didn't know you'd be in this. That's crazy. Sorry, I gotta focus up here. Whew. Chunky motherfucker. I hope these guys can't get revived. Those are gross. The worms, ew. But there's been two core things that have really helped me a lot, and that would be physio to a crazy extent, and then AI. You know, for a software engineer with RSI now, AI actually has been one of the biggest boons possible. The amount of output I can do as an individual contributor with AI and an RSI has been absolutely incredible. Like, that's a thing that I don't see talked about very much, is like how much AI can actually help with people who experience pain while using a computer is astronomical. Like, and pairing AI with dictation tools nowadays, the need for something like what I was learning back then was Talon. The need for something like Talon Voice or anything like that, which is an open source, you know, dictation to computer usage tool, essentially. It's not really needed because you could just pair dictation itself with an AI agent, and then the AI agent, you can just talk to the AI agent and it will do whatever you want it to do on your computer. So honestly, like, kind of out of nowhere, it feels like that problem of I'll never be able to work again at some point has been completely solved, even if I was still in pain, which is crazy. If I was still in pain, I wouldn't have any problems working to 65 now, because the dictation and AI tools are so good. I wouldn't even have to touch a computer or touch a keyboard or touch a mouse to earn a living, which is great. Like, I think that is such a huge boon for people. And there used to be like RSI conferences and stuff where people would talk about their workflows, like the workflow, ergonomic setup, everything it's all compounding, and it's all just so important. So it becomes a light bridge. Okay, yeah. It becomes a obsession for some people. I assume I don't want to go down here. Is that what they're telling me, to just stay up top and don't go into the abyss? I'm fine with that. It becomes such an obsession for some people. And I was kind of in that boat for a while. Like, I have a $3,000 Herman Miller chair. I have a $600 fucking tented ergonomic ortholinear keyboard with full customization. I have cherry red, or not cherry red, I have choco red switches, red pro switches, so I have lower actuation force when I press a key. Stuff like that, right? You get really into that. And obviously it's super important if you're using a mouse and keyboard. I cannot state this enough, how important ergonomics is if you work at a desk for a living. It's truly important. But I wouldn't say like as important as it used to be, as far as like, if you have very bad RSI, you now have the AI agent loop instead, and that kind of saves your career in some aspect there, which is really good. The other aspect that I want to talk about is I don't know really how I got on this from League, but that's okay, is the healthcare aspect of it. RSI is supremely hard to treat. Like, it is insanely hard to treat. And the reason is, at least from my perspective as somebody who's suffered from it for a while, is that it's such a delayed signal for where your pain is coming from. Like, obviously you know it's the computer and computer use, but you don't know specifically what it is from that use that causes it. So you can try all these ergonomic things, you can try all these setups, and then you'll have very different experiences with each, and within each feedback loop it takes months, right? So, and that includes working with physio. So finding out what works for you physio-wise too also just takes months per iteration, and it could take tens and hundreds of iterations to get right. This year is the only time where I've actually felt positive progress, and I've probably had RSI pain since 2020. And this, oh shit, the elevator stopped, that's not good. And I've had RSI pain since 2020. which is absurd. And I'm only 27, so since I was what the fuck was that? Was there a rocket flood? Was there a rocket flood there? God damn.
Like massive bombs. Taking some bombs. Ooh, that was a creepy noise. Ooh. You like?
So yeah, ever since I was 21, I'm 27 now, I've been dealing with pain. And this year, in 2026, is the first year since January. So it's only been 7 or 8 months where I have felt a positive, like a deeply, yeah, there's a fucking rocket flood. A deeply, deeply positive improvement with where my pain levels are. And I think that's been a huge reason why I've been, you know, getting promoted and all this stuff recently in my career is also because I've been so much more capable in terms of my work. Oh fuck, another rocket flood. By not being constrained by having some sort of pain just by typing, which is great. And the iteration, I've iterated so much on ergonomics and all of that. I think I found what works for me. But the mystery of RSI is you don't know why it works for you. It just does. It feels better that way, and everyone's different, and that's it. You know, the Logitech K80, I think, keyboard, and then the Voyager keyboards, the ZSA Voyager, those in certain configurations with certain ergonomics have felt way better than other keyboards that are supposedly as ergonomic or more ergonomic, etc. But then the other biggest thing, I would say, the biggest driver has been obsessing, and I mean absolutely obsessing over physiotherapy. I would initially always follow my physiotherapist's recommendation, which was typically, you know, do 3 times a week, but don't really push yourself too hard, you know, which makes a little bit of sense. Like, you don't want to go till you have pain for things, but you also need to do them way more often than you think. I think a lot of physiotherapists, my sister's an occupational therapist. She also sort of thinks this way. So, but don't obviously talk to a fucking doctor about it. Don't take advice from me. I'm just one guy, and my experience can be so different from everyone else's. You know, like there's a lot of fucking rocket flood. Goddamn, there's a lot of variation in terms of people's experiences here. And when I finally started making a turnaround was in December of last year. Oh shit, I didn't want that really. Actually, you know what? I do want that, fuck it. Was December of last year. And December of last year, I started to up my physiotherapy from 2 to 3 times a week to 6 times a week. And just absolutely hammer the fuck out of my wrists. Like, just hammer them. My forearms are as big as my fucking biceps nowadays. I stopped rock climbing. I stopped bench pressing and lifting weights. And I was like, 6 days a week, we are only doing physiotherapy of the wrists 40 hours, or not 40 hours, 40 minutes a day. And once I made that decision and really deeply stuck with it, that's when I started to turn around. And like I said, it's been slow. I was putting my wrists through the absolute ringer for 6 years. And starting to find an ergonomic setup that felt decent while also doubling/tripling the amount of physiotherapy I was doing, and then putting absolutely everything else on the back burner, was the only time I started seeing any progress during that entire period. And it was slow. It was slow. It's been, oh god, how long has it been? Yeah, so it's been since December, it's August, so 9 months. It's been 9 months, and if I play video games too long, I still get pain. but it is from where it was last December. It is night and fucking day. One of the strategies I used to do was I would keep a... Wow, this fucking rips, man. That's so good. What's over here? This has got to be something, right? No. Lame. I would keep a... should I take rocks? I don't know. This is so good, to be honest. I would keep a pain journal where I would rate my pain on a scale of 1 to 10 every day. And it helps with tracking like where your pain is coming from. You could talk about your activities, how you were feeling, and you could kind of correlate on the level of weeks to months and try to have some form of correlation around it. It's definitely something I'd recommend, but it's not the end-all and be-all. I really do think you really do have to dedicate your life to physiotherapy in some way to get over it, unfortunately, and that's something that a lot of people do not want to hear or like to hear. But when I was keeping that pain journal, when it started, I was probably about a 4 or 5 every day, and just imagine it like being a constant 4 out of 5 pain in the hand whenever trying to do your day job, right? I would say a 4 is absolutely, like, in that context, absolutely agonizing. And through ergonomics and just honestly doing less work, I would just type less, think more. I managed to bring it to a 2 maybe every day. But like I said, if you are in pain doing 2 out of 10 pain doing your job for 8 hours a day, that is still agonizing. It's not quite like as agonizing as it could be, but a 2 is still agonizing. Like any pain at all, 8 hours a day, every day, does nag at you, and that's the thing with repetitive strength. But nowadays, I typically don't even think about pain anymore when going through a work day. Where beforehand, it used to be all I would think about was how to minimize pain and still get my work done. Where now I get to think about a lot more, how do I get my work done to the highest standard and with the most efficiency possible, independent of pain. It's allowed me, with my recent promotion, to put in a lot more extra hours than I would have been able to keep things on track with my transition and stuff like that. So I think it has just been such a boon for me. But it really, there's the lifestyle change with that is you really do have to fundamentally shift your lifestyle. Because the reason I got RSI in the first place was because I was a little 5'8", 110 pound dude who would play competitive League of Legends for like, God, every week, just constantly. I would work, I'd get home, I'd play competitive League, I'd sit on a computer, which I'd have no muscle mass, I wouldn't be eating food, and that just hammered the joints so much over time. And when I first started getting RSI, I was in that state still. I was doing the same old things, getting the RSI. And the amount of changes to just lifestyle in general that it took to start trending in the other direction, I think really puts into perspective just how, I guess, unhealthy that was in the first place. I started running, I ran a half marathon, I started working out, I gained 40 pounds, gained way more muscle mass than I used to. Like I said, my forearms are now bigger than my biceps because I could do bicep curls and stuff, but I really need to start slowly working into that. Like I said, I've only been recovering for 9 months. This is going to be a multi-year thing before I'm probably back to a place where I can bench over, 80 pounds without wrist pain and stuff like that. But just simply being able to get through the workday makes absolutely everything all worth it. And you just, the hardest part is coming to terms with that, because you've built so much of your habits and so much of your identity around this kind of day-to-day, and it's really scary to change that. Like, it takes a long time, and you kind of do have some form of denial where you're like, you always think that there is some sort of quick fix you could do, when there really never is. It's such a fundamental process problem. Are we at the bottom yet? Or is there one more level? Might be one more level. We're probably pretty close. But it's a fundamental, long-term, slow signal process problem. And that is just the absolute hardest part to do. And that's why it's such a struggle for people suffering from it, doctors trying to treat it. And it's not very well under... Oh, god damn it. Am I just supposed to wait here? Sorry. And it's not very well understood. Like, there's a couple books I'd recommend, or I guess one major book. There's a book called It's Not Carpal Tunnel Syndrome that I think is quite useful. It does give you some ways, and obviously not everyone's the same. Like, if a lot of people will do, you know, physio 6 days a week and it will hurt them more than it helps them or stuff. Or a lot of people, it might be a nerve issue, or you might actually have imaging that says something different. My imaging showed nothing. My imaging said my wrists were completely healthy. There was nothing wrong with them at all. And it's very different for everybody, but there's a book, yeah, It's Not Carpal Tunnel Syndrome, which provides a very frank look at it, and I think it provides some wake-up calls that a lot of people with RSI might need to hear on some level, and it gives you a lot of things to try. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say on that. It's quite more than I was expecting, to be honest. Like, it's been a very large part of my life since 2020 has been dealing with this, and finally having a routine that still lets me do what I love, and keeps me on the right track and always trending upwards has been great. And, you know, it costs, you know, 40 minutes of free time a day. So after work, I have to go do something for 40 minutes where I'd rather be doing something else. But having that allow me for the other, you know, 23 hours that day to be doing stuff I want to do without pain, that's a absolutely perfect trade-off. You know, you can't really complain about that. But setting up the systems and having the habits set up to continually stick to that is hard, especially early on, because yeah, the process, or the progress, I mean, is just so incremental, just so incremental. And early on, you'll only feel very, very minor changes. So you have to spend at least 3 months just off of pure discipline and will. Oh my god, it's a fucking puzzle game, bro. Just off of pure discipline and will. And that's what I say, like, it might not work. And then you're back to the drawing board. And that was 3 months of kind of, it feels like wasted work, but maybe you've written some things off that you don't need to care about anymore, or that you know aren't the problem. And you've done that iteration, and now you can try something else. And, you know, that's 3 months. But for me, it took 5 years. And completely, on some level, changing myself as like a person. So, yeah, there's that. If you are struggling with something like that, which is probably, you know, I don't anticipate this getting a lot of views, especially people who aren't dealing with something like that, or don't care about League of Legends, or don't care about Halo, whatever, you probably haven't watched to this point. But if this is something that resonated with you, I would say, oh my god, there's a fucking invisible sword. There's an invisible sword fucking flood, bro. That's sick. I would say don't give up. Like, it is such an incredibly disheartening process. Like, it is so deeply, deeply disheartening that I would just say, just keep at it. Really try to keep at it. Try to find somebody on your side healthcare wise. Really try to create systems that you can stick with, and just know that strengthening ergonomics are probably the key things in my opinion, and to just continually try things and iterate and see what fits you best, because there's no single answer. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got on that. There, we managed to get a topic into the 40-minute video. Actually, maybe even more if I've spliced in clips, but I've probably also cut some stuff too. So we are on the final level. So far, this level has been quite long, I will say that. Longer, oh my god, dude. Longer than I would have anticipated. So far, I wish they did a little more with it. I think they could have went way crazier with it and people would have been fine. Keeping just flood in hallways is okay, but I personally would have preferred more on their end here. I like, it looks good. Like, it looks great. You can't say it doesn't look great. I like, you know, I like what you've done with the place, but it is still just flooded hallways.
Because all you're doing is just walking through hallways fighting flood. I really hate this level design, really. It should be much more interesting.
A little cooler and more interesting hallways, that's for sure. Can we get in there? Looks like we could get in there. I don't know how, though. Let me just take a look. I wish they could have done a little more. It's, oh yeah, let's go down here. It's a little more interesting, but I still think they could have done more. This was definitely the level I was most excited about. It's definitely an improvement. Let's swap that out for sure. It is most definitely an improvement. Do not get me wrong. It is such an improvement. Such an improvement. But still, it's flooded hallways. That's all it is. It's flooded hallways. And not even that much flood. I'm gonna be honest. The amount of flood is, it's a little, I guess I have so much shotgun ammo, I shouldn't care if I'm shooting flood forms. It's a little, like, there isn't that much flood. I'm on heroic right now, like. I assume this is the last door too. They're just disappearing, bro. Alright.
Part after this door opens, I hope. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. That is not good. Not good at all. Oh, shields get regened faster. No. Oh my god. Yep, this is the last place too. Ooh, that was a close call right there. You know, I had some of these guys on me. I was getting shot at. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Take you out. And I do believe if we just run straight to the index, we'll actually end the level. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna run straight here. I remember on Legendary, there's typically a big fight that happens, but yeah, you could just run here.
And that is the library. I guess I stopped recording somewhere in there. I hope I didn't run out of disk space. If you guys missed the end, I'm sorry. That's just unfortunately how it goes. I think most of it got recorded, so I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you at Two Betrayals.
Before we reach the control room and activate the installation. The flood is spreading. We must hurry.